Well, hello everyone. I'm over here in Hudson, New York. We are here to take a look at the Museum of Firefighting. They call it the FASNY Museum of Firefighting. I'm not sure what to expect. I saw some of the pictures online. It's really cool. I'm not sure exactly how much it cost. I know they do some different discounts if you're a member and stuff like that. When it comes to these smaller museums, I never try to ask for any kind of special discounts, just for the fact that they need every cent that they can get to maintain it and all that kind of stuff. But if you're new here, hello, hi, and welcome. We are Echo Travel Adventures. We are a travel channel. We are here in Hudson, New York, like I said. We hope that you find this video very interesting, and that you like our channel enough to subscribe. If you do subscribe, don't forget to hit that bell notification. Make sure you like and comment. Let me know what you guys like. It'd be really cool and really interesting to see what we can experience. Hope you guys enjoy this video. Alright, so we are over here. They go over like a little safety brief for you. Tell you what to expect, the different rules and stuff for the museum. First thing is, don't touch, right? We're in a museum. The second thing is that they encourage videos and photos, and there's a couple of things that you can't film or video, and they're marked and everything. The other thing is that they're not funded by New York. They are privately funded and everything. But we're just going to start over here with the older stuff and then move our way back and then go upstairs as well.
This museum is the home of heroes and a repository of over 20,000 artifacts, including 90 pieces of fire apparatus. Each of these amazing artifacts has a tale to be told and a secret to be revealed. Join us as we recount the courage, valor, and dedication of New York's bravest through these incredible objects. Connect with the past as we examine the mysteries at the FASNY Museum of Firefighting. This massive truck was the first aerial ladder manufactured by Seagrave, with a double side-by-side bed of ground ladders. The 13 ground ladders total 300 feet and range from a small 14-foot folding ladder used inside houses and attics to a 50-foot, two-section extension ladder with stabilizing poles. The aerial ladder of this truck is built in two sections totaling 75 feet. The side rails are made out of single pieces of straight-grained wood with no knots. A fixed ladder pipe is mounted on the underside of the bed ladder. A unique feature to this apparatus is that the aerial ladder must be hand-cranked down after use. This is a very simple system and is faster than the modern hydraulic ladders. The two cranks on the side of the ladder extend the fly section. When starting the 6-cylinder engine of this truck, you could either use the electric starter or the hand crank starter. The gas tank of this truck is actually located under the seat. The steering wheel is mounted on the right side, and the gas pedals are in the middle, as this was a common way to build fire trucks during the early 1900s. There are two plungers on the floor of the cab that operate the siren. Old Faithful's first fire was in January 1934 at the Hicks Mansion, and her last fire was in 1965 at the Blind Brook Lodge. In between these years, she fought fires at the Playland Amusement Park, the American Yacht Club, the Rye Playhouse, and other Rye landmarks. One person who was intimately familiar with all these famous landmarks was Barbara Pierce. Barbara Pierce was born and raised in Rye, New York. Barbara was known around Rye as a fun and witty girl. While attending a dance at Phillips Academy in Massachusetts at the young age of 16, she met George H.W. Bush, the man of her dreams. the two fell madly in love. George and Barbara maintained a long-distance romance through George's years in the U.S. Navy. Finally, on January 6, 1945, George H.W. Bush and Barbara Pierce were married at the Appowamus Club. This fire truck responded to a fire at this very same location in 1938. If it wasn't for this amazing fire truck and the brave firefighters of the Rye Fire Department, George and Barbara Bush may have never been married at their dream wedding location, the Appowamus Club, as it might have burned to the ground. Thus, the love story of George and Barbara Bush and this 1929 Seagrave fire truck will be intertwined for eternity.
So this is the truck that we just saw that video about. It's pretty massive, actually. It goes all the way from one end to the other end. That's crazy. And this is the net. Wow. It's pretty big. These trucks are, it's crazy, because now, you know, the technology really hasn't changed that much. And then you got this one over here. This one's just as long. This is the 1902 American LaFrance Hayes aerial ladder. Wow. It almost looks like it's horse buggied. It is horse drawn. That's what it says in here. Wow. And here's the other side of this truck. It's very echoey in here. I don't want to talk too loud. But look at that. It's crazy. This has history with the Bushes. And this is the 1939 Seagrave aerial ladder truck. And it's a convertible. Red Bird hook and ladder. Wow. There's signs on everything that says don't touch, don't sit, don't stand, don't do none of that stuff. I mean, these things are old. They're 30, 40 years old, 100 years old. And then you got this one right here. This one's old, too. Look at this. Citizens House engine number 9. It's 1937 American LaFrance pumper. And then 1950 auto car. Wow. They're just amazing. Are we allowed to look in? I'm not going to do that. It's crazy. Oh, this is in Catskill, which is the same area that we're in. Inside. Wow. And this is 1931. Wow. Like, the technology really hasn't changed a lot, I don't think. Oh, look, they have a horse and firemen. That's pretty cool. Alright, and right here we have a 1916 American LaFrance ladder truck. It's just big. This is the 1970 race car. Then 1949 Ford truck. This is big. This place is bigger than I thought. And then we're coming back around. We only hit 2 of these trucks. There's more trucks in the front. So this is a 1965 American LaFrance salvage light wagon. Almost looks like modern trucks that we have today. Alright, this is a 1926 American LaFrance triple combination. Wow. And this is the 1942 General Chevrolet. It's crazy. It's really crazy. It's so quiet in here. And then this one's a 1955 Chevy Cascade. Wow. Sometimes when you're at a quiet museum, you feel like you're talking too loud. I know I'm not. And this one right here is a 1939 American LaFrance Scout. And this is a 1951 American LaFrance Pumper. Wow. We did a really good job restoring these. And this one looks like it's pretty modern with the metal ladder wells. It looks like it's all electric. That's a 1946. And coming over here, it gives you some information about the different trucks that are being used. This is where all the interactive stuff is for the kids. It shows you like what it's like to have trucks with baffles compared to without them. That's pretty cool. Because I work in transportation, my drivers talk about that. About how you can feel the difference in how, like when load shifts and stuff like that. Could you make a good tanker driver? So, well, that's really cool. So you go around. That's pretty neat. And they have little toys for the kids to look at. Centrifugal pumps. Oh, cool. Shows you how the water works. Come on over here. This is the piston pump, so that's pretty much common sense. And then this one is a rotary pump from these over here. So there's a little bit of energy to get it going. And then be a pump master. You can play with it a little bit. And then so many hoses. Irrigation hose. Wow. That's really neat. And up above they have like a lot of the different banners and flags and all that kind of stuff from the different fire departments. of New York. Alright, coming back over here, we have the 1968 Maxim Model S pumper. They're so big. 1947 Ward LaFrance Lightning and Rescue Truck. Wow. 1928 Fox Triple Combination Piston Pumper. Wow. This is simply amazing. Look at that one. It's a yellow one. 1955 Seagrave Triple Combination Pumper. Wow. I wish you can go inside. And this is a 1959 Ward LaFrance Quad. The same area that I'm staying in right now. Wow. And this one's a 1950 auto car. Alright, then you go upstairs. To the volunteer hall. Wow. Holy cow. This is the 1939 Buffalo Fire Appliance. Wow. It's a 1957 Mac. And this is a 1966 Mac pumper.
This museum is the home of heroes and a repository of over 20,000 artifacts, including 90 pieces of fire apparatus. Each of these amazing artifacts has a tale to be told and a secret to be revealed. Join us as we recount the courage, valor, and dedication of New York's bravest through these incredible objects. Connect with the past as we examine the mysteries at the FASNY Museum of Firefighting. How did this John Rogers engine, nicknamed Big Sun, almost ignite a new war between the North and the South? 1859, Alexandria, Virginia. The Sun Fire Company purchases this used John Rogers engine for $2,750 and renames it the Sun, or Big Sun. This engine made it through the Civil War a little worse for wear, and in a report presented in 1865 by the chief engineer of Alexandria, it was noted that Big Sun had been damaged almost beyond repair. This damage occurred after it was confiscated for use by the Union Army by Captain Taylor. Taylor was quartermaster, presumably of Fort Ellsworth. Fort Ellsworth is named in honor of Colonel Elmer E. Ellsworth, the first Union officer to die in the Civil War. He was also commander of Ellsworth SWAT, Union troops made up mainly of New York City firefighters. The Sun engine is a truly amazing apparatus to behold. Paintings adorn the tallest part of this engine on 4 sides. Oil paintings of Washington crossing the Delaware and Pocahontas saving the life of Captain John Smith survive to this day. However, the paintings of John Rogers and Grace Reynolds were replaced with Athena and Liberty. Rogers, of course, was the builder, and Mrs. Reynolds was responsible for much of the fundraising that allowed the Sun Company to purchase the engine. Athena was, among many other things, portrayed as a companion of heroes and was the patron goddess of heroic endeavor. Liberty is directly tied to both patriotism and Freemasonry. Freemasonry was very common in the fire service during this time. There are less than 60 pieces of John Rogers apparatus known to still exist today. This engine has one other distinction. In 1925, it was the first piece of apparatus officially added to the records, or accessioned, into the collection of the FASNY Museum of Firefighting. Flash forward, Alexandria, Virginia, 1953. The mayor of Alexandria, Marshall J. Beverly, demands that the FASNY Museum of Firefighting return this engine. It seems that the mayor thinks Ellsworth Swabs, part of the Union forces, illegally captured the engine during the Civil War. He maintained that the Union forces somehow transported it back to New York and retained it after the war for New York Fire Department's own use. Perhaps somehow Fort Ellsworth was mistaken as Ellsworth Swabs. Perhaps the claim was based on the continuing animosity over the Union's use and subsequent damage of the engine during the Civil War. We'll never know for sure, but the mayor was out for blood, and he insisted the apparatus be returned.
The battle for ownership of this apparatus continued on for months, with Virginia engaging Senator Harry S. Byrd, congressmen, judges, and the like to fight on their behalf. The fight culminated with a visit by Alexandria's mayor to New York's capital city of Albany to plead his case. However, New York's Governor Thomas E. Dewey steadfastly supported the New York firefighters' claim of ownership.
This story was covered nationally by newspapers and on radio and television programs. Edward R. Murrow made the conflict the subject of a See It Now program on network television. In the end, the deciding factor concerning ownership was based on facts, not baseless claims.
In both the Fireman's Herald and the Alexandria Gazette, both dated 1887, definitive articles were written that clarified the ownership of this magnificent engine.
The articles went on to state that the engine had been purchased for $300 by the New York Volunteers, and that Alexandria had 2 new steam engines in her stead. So this magnificent apparatus, which is the crown jewel of the FASNY Museum of Firefighting's collection, almost ignited a new war between the North and the South. But cooler heads prevailed, and this apparatus remained here at the FASNY Museum of Firefighting.
That was pretty fascinating. I can't film it or I can't show it to you. Well, that's pretty cool. I mean, looks like they have 2 that look the same. And this one is a bucket machine. It was hand-pulled apparatus, was used in Jamaica, New York, where volunteer firefighting force was organized in 1797. Jamaica would continue to use the volunteer fighting force until 1907. Wow. So 110 years. At the time of the disbandment, 7 volunteer companies existed. This is what I was hoping for. Actually, when I was coming in, something to do with 9/11, and here it is. Wow, it's a different feel. Never forget 9/11. Never forget 9/11. Wow. That's pretty chilling. They have different artifacts. And they have more trucks. Who would have thought? They have a 1952 truck. Oh, this one we can actually go in. That's cool. You can go inside there and sit down. That's neat. I won't go in there, but that's pretty cool. That's good. I mean, think about the kids when they come here. They all want to get inside the truck, you know, and all that kind of stuff. It's cool that they do that. It's a 1939 right here. Another one you can get in. Hello. this? It's a 1911 Waters engine, horse-drawn. Wow. These two objects are on loan from the New York State Museum. They were found during recovery efforts.
This museum is the home of heroes and a repository of over 20,000 artifacts, including 90 pieces of fire apparatus. Each of these amazing artifacts has a tale to be told and a secret to be revealed. Join us as we recount the courage, valor, and dedication of New York's bravest through these incredible objects. Connect with the past as we examine the mysteries at the FASNY Museum of Firefighting.
What is the connection between this Clapp and Jones steam engine, the fireman's home, J.W. Edmunds hose number 1, and the FASNY Museum of Firefighting? 1827, Farmer Village, New York, located near Ithaca. American innovator Myrtle R. Clapp is born. By age 28, he was already on the path to success.
In 1855, he landed a job at the Silsbee Steam Engine Company in Seneca Falls, New York.
Clapp had the innovative industrial chops and now the experience to make his dream of owning his own steam engine company a reality. But he lacked the financial backing necessary.
Enter Edward D. Jones. He becomes Clapp's business partner, and in 1869, the Clapp and Jones Steam Engine Company is born.
Clapp and Jones steam engines were well-crafted machines. It was said they could produce steam in 4 to 6 minutes after lighting.
Their sales literature was full of trials, all of which they won decisively. And the Fireman's Herald publications also verified that these claims were true.
In fact, as dominant as Clapp and Jones steam engines were in trials, fairs, and expos, it is amazing that they were not the single largest producer of steam fire engines in the U.S. Perhaps Clapp and Jones' greatest success came by chance during the Great Chicago Fire.
At the time of the fire, 2 of Clapp and Jones' steam engines were en route further west. They were confiscated and put into service. The first engine worked an unprecedented 404 hours or 16 days and 20 hours, stopping for only 15 minutes. The second engine worked 202 hours. Both engines were said to be in perfect running order, even after their long service.
This incident was regaled in Clapp and Jones' sales literature of 1872, and seems to be incredible, even by today's standards. One would question if the service was exaggerated in the name of salesmanship. However, the event was independently verified in an article by correspondent John Dokes in the Sunday Mercury in 1871.
Clapp and Jones steamers were used all over America and beyond. This Clapp and Jones steamer in the museum's collection is an 1872 steamer. Its manufacturer number is 83. It was purchased from Clapp and Jones by Catskill, New York, and ran as Francis N. Wilson Steamer No. 5 until 1928, when it was donated to the museum. The steamer was originally equipped with rope reels for hand hauling, and it's reputed to have taken 30 to 40 men to run with the steamer. It was later altered for use with a 2-horse hitch. This steamer was said to be extremely powerful and was a champion in local pumping contests.
Soon after the engine arrived in Catskill, it is reputed that it responded to a fire near Catskill Creek. The firemen began to pump water and sprayed the rear of the building. The force of the water was so powerful that it shot clear through the structure, burst the shutters on the front of the building open, and hurled them across the street. Clapp and Jones steam engines were a big success, So much so that their New York City shop became too small to keep up with the demand.
They sought out property here in Hudson on the waterfront, and with investments from the citizens of Hudson, Clapp and Jones built a new manufacturing plant on Water Street in the city of Hudson, which eventually employed 100 men.
Murderer Clapp was a sought-after expert in the steamer industry. People from all over the world sought his advice on steam engine issues.
Clapp and Jones was a world-renowned steam fire engine manufacturer and was located here in Hudson, New York. J.W. Edmunds, the oldest active volunteer fire company in New York State, makes Hudson, New York its home as well. The FASNY Firemen's Home, as well as the FASNY Museum of Firefighting, where I am standing right now, are both located here in Hudson, New York.
Firematically connected in either the past or present, all were located in Hudson, New York. It's no wonder that Hudson is considered America's firematic city.
Alright, we're back in here into the big room. Back behind me is where they had some of that stuff. Like the old engines and stuff like that. I can't go any further because that's where they don't want you to record. But this is from the 1790. This is really neat. And then they have the artifacts inside the glass. Wow. Some of the detail that they have on some of this stuff, like that little painting with a falcon or eagle, simply amazing. 1820s, 1870. $1890, and this is 1731. Wow. Wow. That's crazy. Alright, then we have the megaphones, colonial clothing. From the Dutch colonists, 1860s. And then we got the medieval times. Well, that completes our journey to the Museum of Firefighting here in Hudson. Sorry, Amber just texted me. Here in Hudson, New York. It was bigger than I thought. I mean, the building didn't look that big, and it was packed with a lot of stuff, a lot of information, a lot of trucks. Definitely, if you're in the area, definitely come over here and take a look at it. I think it's really worth it. I mean, it's only $12 to get in. And you're able to go and just experience a little bit of the history about firefighting. Some of the stuff I didn't know, you know. They even have some activities. So if you came in here with, like, let's say your family, family of four or whatever, they have activities where you could be part of the bucket brigade, stuff like that, you know, things that you normally never knew, you know, of how that used to be or whatever. So definitely check this place out if you're in the area. It's only about 45 minutes south of Albany, halfway in between Albany and the Legoland. So definitely, like I said, check it out. They're really grateful. They're really good people. It is a little equity, so a lot of people kind of they always try to encourage inside voices and stuff like that. But if you made it this far, guys, thank you so much for checking us out. Thanks for stopping by our channel. We are Echo Travel Adventures. We are a travel channel. Thank you all for your support and love and everything. Don't forget to comment and don't forget to like. And please, if you choose to do so, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification. We are posting twice a week. And thank you guys so much, and we'll definitely see you guys next time. Bye, guys.